And we're going live. All right. Welcome to Tommy Knows Best Sports Podcast. Today, I'm going live from Tony's Pub and Grill in Lynn. And I got my new Tony's Pub and Grill sweatshirt. I just got it yesterday. And I'm doing the podcast live from here on remote. And I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl. I'm going to talk about Tom Brady. I'm also going to give you a Bruins minute and a Celtics minute. But come down here, guys, for a nice French onion soup, some awesome steak tips, and a nice beer. But anyways, I'm going to start this podcast, and I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl. And this weekend, I like the Eagles. I'm leaning on the Eagles. I like Jalen Hurts, and I like that Eagles offense. That offense has been playing good all season, and they got where they got in the Super Bowl, and they're going against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I ain't a big Kansas City Chiefs guy. I'm not a big Patrick Mahomes guy. I don't know why I don't like him, but I don't know. To me, I don't know. But he has a big test going against a good defense, one of the number one ranked defenses in the league. And they're going to give them a run to their money. A run to their money. And I want to know what you guys all think about the Super Bowl. Who do you guys like? Like I said, I'm going with the Eagles. Their defense is going to give Mahomes a lot of pressure. I want them to pressure Mahomes. I want them to double team Travis Kelce, shut them down, and then there you go. That offense will get shut down. I want to see the Eagles and Jalen Hurts do really good. Jalen Hurts is the toughest quarterback in the NFL, and he's physical, fast, and tough. And he got a lot of good weapons during the offseason. He got one weapon, and I liked how they got A.J. Brown during the offseason this past year, and he helped them a lot. That offense is fully loaded. That defense is fully loaded, and I like the Eagles. I like them. That's my lock of the Super Bowl. I'll be talking more about this Super Bowl a couple more times this week on the podcast. But I want to know what you guys all think about Patrick Mahomes, because let's put him in the category of Tom Brady. He ain't no Tom Brady, but he's trying to be on that level at 27 years old. And Tom Brady won the most Super Bowls out of all these quarterbacks in the league. And Mahomes has to be on that level. He wants to be the next Tom Brady in the league, the next Peyton Manning in the league. He wants to be those guys. Can he do it? Can he be that guy? Right now, the future's on him and the lights on Mahomes and his Kansas City Chiefs. But I want to know what you guys all think about that. And I'm going to page in someone. Tommy, come on in. I want your input about the Super Bowl real quick. Who do you like in the Super Bowl? You like Philly? Oh, boy. The cook at Tony's likes Philly. I was trying to get him on here for a second. I want him to come on and give me some knowledge about the Eagles. The Eagles. That's the team that's going to win the Super Bowl. And that's who I like. But next, I'm going to jump on my next topic. And I'm going to talk about Tom Brady retiring last week. And everyone knows I'm a big Tom Brady fan, a big Tom Brady Bobo. I have his hats. I have his hoodie. I have his jerseys. I'm a big Tom Brady guy. But was it time for him to step away from the NFL? I say probably yes, because the game was catching up on him, and that Bucs offense wasn't good. The offensive line wasn't good. They made the playoffs as an 8-9 team, and that whole division this past year, the NFC South, was a bad division anyway. So the Bucs had no problem winning that division with a bad 8-9 record. But Tom Brady this past year was frustrated with that team. He missed some practices to go to Robert Kraft's wedding, and then he played the game the next day, and they lost. And I don't know, maybe it was time for Tom Brady to retire, but I didn't want him to retire and go out like this. I wanted to see him go to a fully loaded offense with a good head coach and with a good offense. And I thought he probably would have went to Vegas or San Francisco. But I don't know. He decided to retire. This time it's for good. I want to know what you guys all think about him maybe signing a one-day contract with the Patriots and retiring as a Patriot. Number 12. And I want to know some suggestions where they should build a Tom Brady statue. Should they build it where the light statue is at Gillette Stadium? And I was saying they should build a statue of Tom Brady and Lynn where High Rock Tower is on Essex Street. That would be a good view of seeing a Tom Brady statue in Lynn at High Rock Tower. That was one of my ideas. A statue of Tom Brady and Lynn. How ironic would that be? I would take a picture of that statue and post it up on the podcast page on Facebook. You guys all know I'm a big Tom Brady fan, a big Tom Brady honk, a Bobo, this and that. But I want to know what you guys all thought about him retiring last week. I want to know what you guys all think. But next, I'm going to jump into my next topic. And it's about the Boston Bruins. And they're on the All-Star break. They won't be playing until this week on Saturday, 3 o'clock against the Washington Capitals at home. That's a good game. The Bruins got to continue what they've been doing for the first half of the season, carry it over in the second half of the season. And that team's been playing really good this whole season. Yes, they had their couple losses before the All-Star break, but it's all right. Every team has that loss, and even the best teams lose a couple games straight, but there was no need to hit the panic attack button. The Bruins are all right. I still have faith in them winning the cup, even though we know about how this movie ends when it comes to the playoffs. This is like a movie. It's the beginning, and everyone knows how it ends when it comes playoff time. But this team needs to add a piece, and they need a defenseman. A lefty shot defenseman. They need a defenseman, a tough and physical guy. Who would you trade? People are saying you should trade Brandon Carlo. You should trade Matt Glizzlick. No, shouldn't trade those two guys. Actually, Brandon Carlo's actually having a good year, even though everyone knows his history past with injuries and concussions. Maybe that's why people are nervous about him. But Glizzlick, everyone knows about his history too. Maybe concussions too with him, because there's been plenty of times he had to be out in and out of the lineups during the playoffs and during the Stanley Cup run against the St. Louis Blues. But everyone's saying he reminds them of a Torrey Krug. And I don't think that. Grizzlick's the beast. I met him. And I like Matt Glizzlick. And I hope he comes on my podcast. And I hope he'll watch this podcast. Matt Glizzlick, this one's for you too, for the Bruins. But next, I'm going to jump into my next topic. It's about the Celtics. But before I get into the Celtics, yesterday there was some big news in the NBA. Crybaby Kyrie Irving got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. That little prima donna. There you go. He got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. And I think that's a bad choice of him going there, because he's going to probably ruin Luka Doncic's season, because every team where Kyrie Irving goes, he's the problem. He's the problem one. But anyways, I'm going to jump into the Celtics. The Celtics, they lost a couple nights ago. And it was a bad loss, but it's all right. Every team, like I said, loses a game here and there. But the trade deadline's coming up on Thursday. And the Celtics, I think they need to get a guard. And this team's an NBA team, finals team this year. They could go to the finals. I see this team going to the finals this year. I see them winning it, going back where they are, this time winning it. And I guess Golden State just like bullied them last year, and they were like their bullies, their dads, their fathers. But listen, Golden State was getting away with stuff, but you got to give them credit. Steph Curry's just an awesome shooter, and he'll shoot anywhere. That's what I got to say about that team. But the Celtics need to add a guy, like I'm saying. Jason Tatum needs to keep playing really good as an elite level MVP player. He's proven himself he wants to be the NBA MVP player this year. I want to know what you guys all think about that. And right now, Marcus Smart being out kind of hurts the team in some games. Like, they should have never lost on Friday night, but hey, a loss is a loss, and it's all right to see these teams lose now before the playoffs. But anyways, I'm going to end this podcast. I want to say thanks for watching, and I was coming live from Tony's Pub and Grill. Come down here and get a French onion soup, best French onion soup in the North Shore. Come down here for steak tips and a nice cold beer, and get a beer called Beer Man. Get the Beer Man beer. I'll see you guys later.